Jay from ASMR for Nerds. Today I'm going to do a little bit of the same. Maybe just throw a little something different in. Obviously, I'm doing my weekly comic shop haul. Except I'm going to be showing it to you guys while sucking on Jolly Ranchers. So for those of you who might not be into mouth sounds, this might not be the video for you. I happen to like them. So I figured why not give it a shot. I think the reason I like them, sometimes I think about ASMR, why it's something that's comforting to my mind, or maybe why it's comforting to us. My grandpa, he used to read me stories, bedtime stories, and he'd always be sucking on cough drops. And he had TMJ in his jaw, and it would click and make these noises while he'd talk, and he had a very soft voice, almost like whispering, but it was just so soft. So like the clanking of the cough drop on his dentures, like, it was just something that I found comforting. So when I discovered ASMR and noticed a lot of people doing that, I kind of put it together that maybe that's why that's comforting to me. And maybe there are things that are comforting to you guys that, you haven't thought about. I don't know. Being that no scientist really has any idea about what ASMR is or what causes it or why some people have it and some people don't. I guess it's our job to think about it. So, figure let's get right into it. So this week was a pretty good week, especially for Marvel Comics. There's a lot of new Marvel stuff that came out. There are also a lot of new issues that look really interesting that I just picked up, having known nothing about it. So I'm excited to show you guys all of these. Some I'm just giving a shot, a lot of number ones in here. But I figured I'd start off with this one because I know nothing about it. It seems that I picked up a copy that has some junk on it, which stinks. If it's really good, I'll buy a new one. But comics are for reading, not collecting, right? So they say. So I'm going to take this stack, put it aside. Okay, so this first title is called Limbo. I know absolutely nothing about it, but I opened it up and it looked pretty interesting. So the writer is Dan Waters. And the artist is Casper Wingard, I guess. It's a weird spelling there. Kind of looks like a Viking name. So this art actually reminds me of Chris Samnee's work, who, like I've said, is one of my favorites. And that's kind of why I bought it. It's just got... So... I really know nothing about this book, other than, like I said, I just open things up and sometimes I'll try a number one just because it looks like, I'm guessing it takes place in New Orleans. There's some significance to this cassette tape. It looks like, I don't know, there's some Mexican wrestler type guys and some weird goat stuff. It almost looks like some sort of paranormal, maybe. I don't know, like paranormal Cajun story. But it does look good. I never heard anything about it or read anything about it, but that's it. Don't know what else to say about this one. So this is Limbo, and maybe I'll tell you guys about it next week if it was good or not. There was a book I read last week that was good that I didn't know anything about, and I told you guys if it was good I'd let you know. And that's a book called Clean Room. That was actually really good. Kind of a adult-themed horror story. So like I said, I'm going to bag and board these just so we get a little extra of this crinkling. And I'll probably have this be a part of every week's videos. So I'll put this aside because I normally, before I read books, I'll double bag and board them. So next, these aren't in any sort of order, so all new Wolverine. I stopped reading Wolverine titles after the death of Wolverine. They had a series called Wolverines that came out. I bought one issue and it was just really bad. So I don't know where that took this story of Wolverine, but clearly it's not Logan. It's someone else. So let's read and maybe we'll have some insight as to who it is. X-23 was created to be a weapon. For a time, that's all she was. But Laura Kinney escaped that life with the help of the man she was cloned from. The man who became her mentor, the Wolverine. Tragically, the original Wolverine has fallen, and the mantle has been left empty. Laura will live as Logan's legacy, and she will fight for her brighter future. She will leave behind her old life and make a new one. She is the all-new Wolverine. Written by Tom Taylor. So, I guess she's a clone of Logan and was trained by him in some respect. Art looks pretty not generic. It's pretty good, but nothing really is standing out to me. Now Wolverine is not really one of my favorite characters. I know he's got quite a big fan base, especially since the movies. Oh, here we go. This is the first I've seen of the new Daredevil series. The cover. I'm a little hesitant because Charles Soule does not always wow me, but I will definitely give him a chance. This is going to be good. They already had Weird World from Secret Wars, and Mike Del Mundo is still drawing it, so I'm excited for that. Well, enough ads already. They have a Guardians of Infinity coming out. Just telling you more and more what they're probably going to do in the movies. The Guardians are going to be the ones who lead the fight against Thanos, I think, instead of Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock like the comics. So that's all new Wolverine. Nothing too exciting, but I don't know, it looks pretty good. Alright, so let's bag this one up. Sometimes it's a little tight squeeze. Alright, so that's our first two. Okay, next we have, and again, this series I don't know too much about, but look at that cover. I love Galactus, and I'll kind of buy anything with him on it. This kind of looks like that variant I showed you guys, the Silver Surfer variant, where Galactus is eating Earth like a cereal bowl, except this time it's a big, like, cake pop or lollipop. The Ultimates are a crew that seem to always be changing. I do not know who is in it now. There's Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Okay, you have Black Panther, King T'Challa of Wakanda. Black Panther is going to be having his own movie in a couple of years. I don't know if it feels to me like, I don't know, a little bit of pandering. Although I love the character, but I don't know. They only have one character, black character, as getting his own movie, and one female getting, Captain Marvel getting her own movie. So I don't know. I feel like there's more Luke Cages out there. I think he might be involved in the TV shows coming up. Oh boy, there's Galactus. So just a quick look at this one. I bought it mainly because of the cover. I'm a sucker for these kind of covers. Anyway, so I have absolutely no problem with them having a bit more diversity in movies, but I even feel like there could be more. I know they're introducing Falcon as an Avenger. And maybe after Civil War, Iron Man or Captain America will die. And maybe they'll make Falcon the new Captain America like they did in the comic books, which I do like that idea. Okay, next. Now this is the gem of this week, I think. Although I didn't read it yet. This is Superman, American Alien by Max Landis. Max Landis is the director who made the movie Chronicle, superhero, kind of young superhero movie. He is also known for his spoof he did of the Death of Superman. He made a video with Elijah Wood and a bunch of celebrities, Mandy Moore is in it, kind of making fun of the whole Death of Superman story. So even though he made fun of it, he's clearly a fan. And he wrote an issue for Adventures of Superman, where Joker comes to Metropolis and it's basically him and Superman on top of a building in Metropolis, having like this really interesting conversation and back and forth, and it's one of my favorite issues actually. So I'm excited for this story. I've always said that they really should play with the idea of what it was like for Superman growing up as an alien and, developing these powers, and how does one, oh wow, this is a great panel. Superman looking in the mirror and seeing E.T. Oh, I'm already excited for this one. So yeah, like what the loneliness might feel like as a child growing up. Just being totally different and having this power to decide what you're going to do with it. So I'm assuming that's what this is about. And I can't wait to read this. I'll probably read this tonight. Superman, American Alien by Max Landis. I haven't even read it, and I'm going to tell you guys it's probably a good one to pick up. Avengers. Now, I am not a huge fan of Avengers books, typically. I liked Hickman's run on New Avengers that led up to Secret Wars and Infinity. But this New Avengers is written by Mark Waid. So I will give it a shot. I love Mark Waid. He, like I've showed you guys before, wrote the Daredevil Volume 3 and Volume 4, which is like legendary comics as far as if you ask me. And he wrote Kingdom Come, which is like one of the best just superhero stories of all time. I know I keep telling you guys about the same writers and but like, these are the guys who are making the books these days and really doing different things. So Mark Waid, he's also writing Archie. The artist is Adam Kubert. And the cover artist, let's take a look at the cover one more time just because. This is an Alex Ross cover. Alex Ross is like the, just the master of comic book covers. He paints these like amazing, just, covers. Some of his covers go for hundreds of dollars just for the cover. I believe there was a sketch version of this, a black and white sketch variant, that was $250 at the comic book store. So let's just go back to the cover and see who's an Avenger now. Different cast here. We have Thor, but Lady Thor. Sam Wilson, Captain America. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. The Vision. You got Iron Man still in there. Nova. And that could be Spider-Man 2099, although I'm not 100% sure which Spider-Man that is. Could just be he's wearing a different outfit, but maybe it's Miles Morales. We'll find out. Maybe we can find a page that introduces him. See, they're really starting to push the Daredevil now. December 2015. The little bit I know about the new Daredevil is, so Daredevil was trained by this guy named Stick. If any of you watch the show, Stick had a big part in it. Kind of a jerk. Not the nicest guy, but I guess effective because Daredevil became a superhero. So this, I forgot his name, but he's going to be basically like the Daredevil of Chinatown, where Daredevil himself, Matt Murdock, stays in Hell's Kitchen mostly, fighting crime. And he's going to be like protecting Chinatown, probably from gentrification. Here in New York City, even Chinatown is not safe. It's starting to be developed, and it is being threatened of losing its culture. Probably the only part of the city left that has any, unless you go way uptown to Harlem. Although southern Harlem is even turning, but when I say turning, I just mean gentrifying. If you go uptown, there's still a lot of the remaining culture. Anyone who hasn't been to Harlem, it gets a bad name, like it's not a safe place, and generally it is. There's a lot of great food up there. From my experiences, the community is pretty welcoming and nice enough. There are a couple of blocks that might be a little, not so safe at night, but that kind of goes for everywhere. Actually, the most dangerous part of the city is Midtown, right in the middle by Penn Station, and places that people seem to be comfortable. Oh, it looks like Alex Ross is going to be doing all the covers for this. That's great. So, that was all new, all different Avengers, number 1. Throw that in a bag. Okay, next. Action Comics Superman number 45 by Greg Pak. This is so far a pretty good run. I think I've showed you guys one before. Not the greatest. Doesn't stand out as some of the best Superman stories, but Greg Pak is definitely a capable writer. And I mean, I'm a sucker for Superman stories. He's my favorite. Forgot I had this Jolly Rancher. I told you guys I was gonna be eating them, and I've been neglecting them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jolly Rancher. This is Martian Manhunter story. This is great. I always suggest that one to people. So in this Superman story, it's kind of, I guess, taking on the NSA and stuff like that. There's this bad guy named Horder, Hordr, Horder Root. He's like kind of a computer virus or something that skips from body to body. And he kind of collects all the information all at once, and he's kind of at all places at once. I guess he's like the living internet. And he was about to release Superman's identity, and to relieve him, he was basically holding Superman hostage. And Lois Lane just put out Clark's identity for him. So that was Superman Action Comics number 45. Bang it up. If any of you guys know any Superman stories that I have to read, I mean, I've read a ton of them, but there's so many, and from what I've learned over the years, a lot of hidden gems that aren't normally suggested, so let me know. Next, another book I know nothing about, The Darkseid War, Superman. I saw a lot of these different characters, Darkseid War, Batman, and a bunch of others, and I don't know anything if this is an event or just like a one-shot. But it's a Superman book, so I'm giving it a shot. This is a really nice page. Who's this artist? We have written by Francis Manapul, art by Bong Dazo. That's a cool name, Bong Dazo. It looks like we got a black and white Superman or something. Interesting. And he's kind of rough. Looks kind of mean. Oh, this looks interesting. I said, give me my pie. I don't love the artwork in this. Almost looks like I don't know, cartoon. But some pages do stand out, like this one. I love splash pages. That's what these are called. When you have a whole page or two page, it's called a splash page in comics. It's kind of used as like just a big emphasis, like usually like in a climactic part of the story. Okay, so this one gets a bag and a board. I might run out of bags and boards. I need to buy a new bag. So if I do, I promise next week I'll have enough. Okay, next. I still haven't decided which one I'm going to read to you guys today. I have so many books, maybe there's not enough time, but we'll see. So we have Angela, Queen of Hell. Another number one that I'm just giving a shot. This is written by Marguerite Bennett. I'm going to take another Jolly Rancher. These are good. My cats like to play with these wrappers. So. Okay. I'll read the first page just so we could get an idea of what this lady is about. Okay. This is Angela, Asgard's assassin. I believe Angela is Thor's sister. Maybe I'm wrong. As a child, she was a princess, stolen from Asgard, and raised as an angel by a handmaiden of the Queen of the Realm of Heaven. She lives and dies by one law: nothing for nothing, everything has its price. But this isn't Angela's story. My name is Sarah. I'm the funny one. Also the pretty one, the magical one, and the one who can play a bitch and lute solo. I also have really good hair. If Angela was the envy of heaven, then I was very nearly its exile. I was born among a different caste. I escaped, I was happy, and then one day I was slain. Alright, so that's a good start, I guess. I'm into it. This is kind of keeping the theme of female characters, and it's nice to see them giving a female character, a female writer. Not too many of those. We have Kelly Sue DeConnick out there, and we don't have many more that I can think of writing for Marvel. Yeah, there's a couple of artists, female artists, but not many female writers. Spider-Gwen is written by a guy. Latour. Miss Marvel is written by Wilson. G. Woodrow Wilson, I think. I believe that's a guy. Who else do we get? We have Captain Marvel. Yeah, that's Kelly Sue DeConnick, Matt Fraction's wife. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out for them. Some female writers. Come on, ladies. We need more of you. I'm sure there are plenty of you, but it's time to give you a shot. I know, independent books, there are a lot of female writers. So next we have, The Amazing Spider-Man #3 by Dan Slott. I picked up on the #1 here. I was not reading Dan Slott's Spider-Man. I did read his run on Spider-Man, the Superior Spider-Man, and I didn't love it as much as everyone else seemed to. So I stopped. So for about a year I'd been out of the Spider-Man loop. So, but the #1 of this run, which came out a couple of weeks, about a month ago, kind of brings you up to speed nicely. Peter Parker has his own company now, similar to like Tony Stark's, called Parker Industries. And he works on a lot of technology stuff. So Spider-Man has all this new technology, like a Spider-Mobile and like an iWatch, which is interesting. All these new gadgets and stuff. And it seems to be, although he has all these new resources, he's starting to have all these new enemies, and people are after his tech, not just him. So his life, as Peter Parker always does, he always makes his life more complicated than it needs to be. But that's kind of what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, and why I used to not like Spider-Man so much, I guess because of the movies just always turned me off. But Spider-Man is made for comic books. That's where he really that's where his best stuff is. So I do like Spider-Man. Speaking of characters that I have not always liked, next we got Deadpool. Deadpool #1. Deadpool is wildly popular these days. Maybe the #1, top 3. I'm not sure how that happened. He was a character kind of a side character created by Rob Liefeld. That guy is actually, these days, kind of a joke. People talk about him like he's a hack. But I don't know if they realize that he created one of Marvel's most loved characters these days. Deadpool, deadly, funny, killer, hero, madman, adventure, cancerous, smelly, irresponsible, father, reckless, husband, regenerating, degenerate, merc, mouth. They call him the merc with the mouth. The writer is Jerry Dugan, and the artist is Mike Hawthorne. Now, I never really bought Deadpool books, even when Brian Posehn was writing it. Brian Posehn from Mr. Show and Just Shoot Me and, a lot of other things. I know him from Mr. Show. This is one of my favorite shows of all time. I was just the character never appealed to me too much, so I just kind of stayed away from him. But I read his Secret Wars story, basically where Deadpool becomes a handsome man, and I kind of liked it. And I also read Deadpool vs. Thanos, and that was great. I showed you guys one of those issues, I think. And I liked that a lot, so I figured, okay, Deadpool. So, he has a movie coming out soon, and it looks like he's doing bar mitzvahs. So, Deadpool is busy these days. So, yeah, I'm giving him a shot. He kind of just, to me, just seemed like a ripoff of a mixture of Wolverine and Spider-Man, with the regenerating and just as the wisecracking and stuff. But I guess they're taking him in different directions now and doing some fun things with him, so I'll buy into it. I'll see where they go. So that's Deadpool number 1. The world's greatest comic magazine. Let's bag you up, Deadpool. Oh, come on, get in. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so you want to see what I did? I bought 2 by accident. Wow. It was nice of the guy at the counter to point it out to me, but I spent $8 on The Amazing Spider-Man number 3. Now I do that somewhat often when I have a big stack in the comic book store. And I guess it just comes with the territory, We already looked at this, but sometimes when I have doubles, I'll give them away, or sometimes I'll cut them up just for fun. But I guess I'll hold on to this. I'm not going to bag report it because it's wasteful. Next. This is a book that I don't know anything about other than the writer, who I do like. It's called Unfollow. And the writer is Rob Williams. He's been writing a bunch of things these days, and I've liked almost everything he's written, so I'm going to give it a shot. It looks like 140 characters is the name of the storyline. So I'm sure it has something to do with a Twitter-like. I don't know. Okay, next. Captain America White. I've told you guys enough about this. About Jeff Loeb, about the Color series, about our say hello, I talk about at length, and probably will continue to, because I love him. I think the comic book world is at a loss when he is not working. Look at that Red Skull he draws. I love that. It's just, his art is just so different. And Jeff Loeb really has a way of writing stories that will yank some emotions out of you. He really, it's almost as if he studies each character and what makes them vulnerable, what makes them appealing to people, what makes them inspiring even. And he writes stories that just really, go into that. Look at that angry Red Skull. It's scary. So that is Captain America White #4. I don't know how many issues they're going to do of this. I think maybe 7 or 8. Normally their issues of the color series they do about 5, I think, of each. But this one looks like it's already at 5 because they started with number 0. One sec. That's so nice. Sometimes I think people must think we're weird. Did you ever, I guess real quick, since I know nothing about this, I'll go off on that tangent while I flip through this. The only thing I know about this is it's written by Kevin Eastman, who invented the Ninja Turtles. I guess so this is about wrestling, that's all I know. A young boy who wrestled. Just giving it a shot. Anyway, I'm wondering if you guys actually tell other people about your ASMR or your ability to experience it. Honestly, I don't tell many people. My girlfriend knows. She doesn't have it. And that's about it. I think I might have told one friend, but they don't understand. It just seems too weird to them. They'd probably, if they saw these videos, me doing these videos, they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? I don't care. It kind of looks like Robert Kirkman's Invincible. Maybe I'll do a video on just Invincible, or maybe Robert Kirkman. Although, I'm not a big fan of The Walking Dead. But I love his Invincible series. It's so good. It's like, it starts off really, it almost seems like a generic, young superhero story. But at one point, maybe about 6 or 7 issues in, it just like goes out of control, and it just kind of stays at that level for about 100 something issues. It's so good. Robert Kirkman is like a master of superhero storytelling, which is why it's surprising to me that he's most known for The Walking Dead. Although, that kind of seemed like a perfect storm. Coming out right at a time where zombies were just, people were just cashing in. Okay, so, what do we have here? Carnage #1. This is a series I was excited about because I always liked the character. So let's read about Carnage. Cletus Cassidy was a psychopathic serial killer known for his brutality and violence. He bonded with an alien symbiote. I don't even know how to say that. It's used in comics so much, but I don't know if I've ever heard it out loud. He bonded with an alien symbiote that gave him abilities similar to those of the Amazing Spider-Man, and enabled him to craft bladed weapons out of the creature's living tissue. Deadlier than ever, he he became the killer called Carnage. Now, I'm not sure where they're starting off with the story. The last I've seen of Carnage was in a series called Deadpool vs. Carnage, which was kind of fun. For someone who says he doesn't like Deadpool, I sure read a good amount. There's so much out there lately. But Deadpool vs. Carnage was a lot of fun. It was like Carnage was just acting randomly, and Deadpool was somehow predicting his random acts of violence, and it was frustrating Carnage because he thought he was being random and impulsive, but Deadpool is such a impulsive, guy who acts on his random things that he saw the pattern in Carnage's impulsivity. So it's kind of weird, but really good. That was written by Cullen Bunn. Not this, but the Carnage vs. Deadpool. I seem to be talking about other things while flipping through these books, but it's because I don't know. I haven't read these, so I don't know anything about them. So, sorry, guys. This one's a little tough to get it. Come on, get it there. King. Next, big one. Secret Wars number 7. Another Alex Ross cover here. Look at that. This is a great one. So Secret Wars is an extremely detailed, in-depth story. Not that different from DC's Convergence. After all the incursions, which I'm not going to tell you about because I think I did in another video, and it's just so involved. Doctor Doom basically became god of this planet called Battle World, where there are different like parallel universe versions of cities and characters. Like there's a Civil War one, there's a Planet Hulk one, there's a Old Man Logan one. All these stories that happen throughout the Marvel's history. And Doctor Doom is basically, he polices them, and his police force is called the Thors. And there's all these different Thors. There's like an Iron Man Thor and just all kinds of Thors. And they're basically the police of Battleworld, making sure those worlds stay to themselves and don't cause too much trouble. In the main storyline, Reed Richards basically avoided the incursions, the destruction of the incursions, and is basically on his own, trying to figure out what's going on and stop it. I'm not going to flip to the end or tell you much more because it's really worth reading. This is an event, and I wouldn't say most events are worth reading. This one definitely is. Secret Wars number 7. Next. Oh, bummer. We got a ripped copy here. Oh no. Anyway, this is called the Illuminati. Now the Illuminati in comic books and Marvel. Reed Richards. Who else? You had Tony Stark. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Of course, Tony Stark is Iron Man. And they kind of were the ones behind the scenes making the decisions of really big Earth threatening things. So it looks like the Illuminati is a whole different group. I don't even know if it's the same idea, but basically the Illuminati was the new Avengers. In Hickman's New Avengers run that was mostly dealing with the Illuminati. The Illuminati was kind of started around when the Civil War story started. They were kind of the ones who were deciding what to do about the Superhero Registration Act. For any of you who haven't read Civil War, maybe we'll do a Civil War video one day. Avengers said no, Tony Stark said yes, and Black Panther said, screw you guys, I don't like any of this, and he left. Kind of making him the coolest one of the group. Alright, next. Ooh, I love this cover. Descender. This is another Jeff Lemire, however you say, book. Drawn by Dustin Julian. I don't know how to say it. That's a very common name, I know, but I don't know how to say it. I even met the guy at Comic-Con, I didn't know how to say it. But this cover is like a claymation cover. This story is great. It's kind of almost like have you ever seen the movie AI with Haley Joel Osment? It's got similar idea to that, but totally different. But the main theme about a young boy robot who thinks he's a human and has human emotions and stuff. People are after him, but it's in a totally different kind of environment and landscape. So on his planet, they basically made these robots for all different things. The young boy robot was made to be a companion to a child who was on a moon planet. His parents were miners. And this whole group of humongous robots that destroyed planets just showed up, almost like a bunch of Galactuses. And they've just destroyed all the planets in the Galactic Federation. And people after that decided to destroy all the robots, and he's one of the last ones, and they found him, and all this stuff is going on. Not going to tell you much about it because it's also good. I know this one has been optioned for a pilot for, I think, Showtime, so it might even become a show. That would be great if it does because it's a really good story. Okay, next we have Airboy by James Robinson. James Robinson was one of I was not a big fan of. He wrote one of the worst comics I've ever read. I say that, I'm not angry when I say it, but he wrote a Superman story called New Krypton, and it was so promising in what it was about, but it was just such a failure. Oh my god. Anyway, this kind of brought me back to the James Robinson, on the James Robinson wagon. This is a very unique story. It's written in the first person about himself. He kind of calls himself a hack in the first issue, saying he wrote a lot of uninspired things, and he's doing a lot of drugs and being self-destructive, ruining relationships in his life. I don't know how much of that is true, but and then one of the characters that he wrote in his past, Airman or Airboy, which is the name of the book, I forgot. Almost like this Captain America figure. He kind of gets sucked into his world, and the difference between the, old, jaded, druggy, sex-crazed James Robinson with this pure, 50s superhero, and the dynamic that's between them. It's very, very unique and kind of a good introspective look at his own work and himself, and made me respect him a lot more after reading New Krypton. So James Robinson, I'm a fan now, and Airboy is worth picking up, especially since it's a little cheaper, $2.99. That's number 4. Next, I've showed you guys one of these before, Dave 2. This is the second story arc in the Dave series, and it's so good. Everyone I've suggested this to has loved it. I told you what it's about before, and I'm not going to tell you more. Here's his son, a gay robot. You see that a lot in comic books now. A lot of gay characters and stories. Good for them. That's good. Again, like I said, I'm all about diversity in comic books these days. It definitely changes things up. And it also, it's not too alienating for other people who might be getting into comics. So that's Dave 2. This is a variant I bought, drawn by Jeff Lemire, who is the writer of this series, of this Hawkeye series. Look how cool that cover is. It's the Fantastic Four, so I don't think it has anything to do with Hawkeye. But they rebooted this at number 1. I think it just continues the storyline from before, but they just put a lot of books to number 1 after Secret Wars ended, or it still didn't end, but after Secret Wars. How's it going on? There's an old Hawkeye. It looks like an old Kate Bishop. 20 years from now. Jeff Lemire really does these interesting things with comics. His stories tend to be sad and deal a lot with like childhood trauma and stuff. And this series has kind of gone back and forth a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. I really like it a lot. Highly recommend it. That's it. Hawkeye. Alright guys, that's all. I didn't read one to you because I had so many books to show you. I kind of went through them quick this time. Sorry. A lot of rambling and stuff. I'm going to slow it down the next video, do some reading, maybe play with some of the noises more rather than just whispering and talking to you guys. Anyway, like I always say, let me know if there's anything you guys want to see. I'd love, even if it's something I don't have, I'll go out and buy it. Anything new, anything maybe I don't know of, characters, stories, I don't know. Just, I don't know, let's talk about comics. I have a video game video up, either up now or going up soon, where I play Mega Man 2. And talk to you guys while I do that, so let me know if you like that too. I'll do more of those. And so that's it.